All right, density equals mass over volume. All right, so if density equals mass over volume today, that's the formula you're going to use all day in lab. We're looking for volume, right? So you got to have D and M. So looking at the question, what's your density? 5.2. All right, so I'm putting 5.21 here. What's our mass? So I'm putting 45.2. 45.2 here. All right, how did we talk about solving this yesterday? Cross multiply. Now, you can put a 1 here if it makes you happy. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just visualize it. It's your choice. But if you have weaker math skills, put it there if it makes you happy. Cross multiply. What's 5.21 times V? 5.21 V. What's 1 times 45.2? All right, so now we need V by itself. So we do what? Divide by 5.21. Divide by 5.21. Okay, now what do we get to get V? What do we have? So when you divide, what do you get? 8.67. All right, so when we look back at our units, what happens to I left my G off. Somebody should have told me that. That's a gram because it's a mass. No, I just left it off as a typo. So it's a gram. So my 2 grams do what? Cancel out, and I'm left with milliliters. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So number 2. What am I solving for here? I said, what is the volume of a cube if it has sides of 2 centimeters? What do y'all know about a cube from math class? Are they the same or are they different in a cube? Are the sides the same or are they different in a cube? They're the same, right? So what do you know about volume? How are you going to find volume today? Length times width times height. So if all the sides are the same, what do you put in? 2 times 2 times 2. So what do you get? All right. Now, the reason I gave you this is I wanted to see if you get your unit right. What's the unit on the 2? It's what? You can put milliliters, but that's not what I wanted you to put. All right. I gave you centimeters. So if this is a centimeter, and that's a centimeter, and that's a centimeter, it's centimeters cubed. Okay? Because you're going to see centimeters cubed in the lab today. So make sure you put the cubed on. All right. And I gave you these 2 because these were the last 2 questions on the quiz yesterday, and only about half of us got it right. Okay? So how do we do the first one on the triple beam balance? Some of us are still struggling with this. All right? We're doing okay on the 480. But then when we get here, some of us are putting 0.2, and that's not right. Okay? When you see that whole number down here of 2, that's 482. These lines are the decimal. So point, how many of these lines do you see is the decimal. So how many do you see? Point how many?
3.
0.3. And then you can put your gram behind it. Some of you put milliliters on that yesterday. I didn't take off if you messed up your unit, though. All right, and then the next one, I'm pretty sure I put the identical question from the quiz on it. All right, so when you look at that, what do you see?
I said 35.
And I took anybody who had a decimal that was correct. I didn't take off for anybody who used a decimal. A lot of you guys read the top of the line and not the bottom of the line. Every time you read the water today, you need to make sure you read the bottom. Okay? You're reading the bottom of that line. Now, I did a better job with making sure it wound up right here on the line yesterday. So those of you who got it right wrote 34 milliliters, which is fine. Those of you who wrote 35 milliliters, I marked it wrong because you read the top of the line. So when you read this, is it on 34 exactly?
No.
So a lot of y'all wrote 34 point something. A lot of people wrote 9, wrote 5, wrote 7. Anybody who wrote something like that, I gave you full credit. If you wrote 34 point something grams, I just marked out the grams. Okay? Questions about that? All right, for those of you who did your homework, let's run through your answers real quick and see if you have questions. Find mine so I have the answers. Huh? I want to say there was 1 in this class and 2 or 3 in 4th period. Or not that many. Huh?
He's the only one I do on the last.
I think he was the only 100 on the quiz. I can't swear to it. I'd have to look, but it may have been. All right. Answer my question about whether I can carry that to middle school. Answer that is no. All right. So question 1. What did you get for the length of side A? 4 centimeters. The area of side AB is 12 centimeters square. What is shown in, or not shown in the side area, you could have told me C or height. Either answer is good. What is a missing part used to find? C or height is used to find volume. The volume of the cube would be 24 centimeters cubed. Number 6, if you have 156.78 grams, and you have the volume in number 5, if you have mass and volume, you can find density. So in number 7, I asked you to find the density of the body. It would be 6.5 grams per centimeter cubed. Number 8, 56 centimeters cubed. Number 9, 14 centimeters squared. 10, 3.2 grams per milliliter. Number 11, 90.4 grams. And 12, 4.25 centimeters. Anybody want me to do anything on this paper? You didn't do it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who did it. Anybody who did it, you need to do anything on the paper? No? Now, those of you who did not do it, to answer William's question, you may turn it in for a late grade. Now, those people who did it today, I did not take off if you didn't show me any work. For future use, you need to show me work on those math problems. And if you want to turn in for a late grade, you need to show work. I'm not going to take it if all you do is write an answer. I need the math worked out on the paper. Okay? You don't have 12 questions. It's not hard to do work if you want the late grade. Okay? Now, let's talk about lab. Let me have a handy dandy little helper, because even though I got the cast off, I still don't have much motion. I still don't have much motion in my fingers. That's the reason for me leaving early to go to physical therapy today. All the rest of my appointments are in my planning period, but I had to take what I could get in the month of August. Can't. Well, I can move them all. I just can't grip anything. Huh? I'll be doing it the rest of class.
Are we going to start right?
Gotta start right now.
She's going to be in here.
The director will be in here about
Who knows
12:50.
nothing about this?
That's right.
So we got to do it by ourselves.
I'm gonna be here for 50 minutes. By the time you get to 12:50, you better know what you're doing. For goodness sakes. Biggest thing is y'all gotta pick up before you leave. Y'all better not leave a mess in here. Mama's involved. Finish those first. Here, I'd be concerned if you don't leave a mess. Because 4th period's got to come in and start it without me. So they don't need a mess. Y'all are just finishing. 4th period's got to start it without me. All right. Put those there from the top away. All right. So, I told you yesterday, the day before, when we did the lab, when you turn on the sinks, make sure you don't turn the water on real hot. First of all, I have no paper towels. I'm going to email Miss Beverly and see if I can get a roll of paper towels. Because right now we have nothing. So, if you will, make sure that when you turn the water on, it's gentle. A couple people yesterday, when they turned the water off, turned the handles down really hard, and I had to go behind them and pop them up. Remember, when you turn the water off, remember what I told you. You should be able to stick your hand under here. See how I can stick my hand under there? They did a good job, okay? Do not mash that water handle really flat. Try not to break the graduated cylinders. Set the tops off to the side, okay? Now, part A is the water. Let me show you how the data table works. So you want to fill in all of part A before you finish and go to part B. So, you get rid of this. All right, does everybody see part A in the instructions? Okay. There we go. All right, now turn to the second page where it's got the data table. Okay, so part A has 4 steps, right? So turn to page 2 where it's got the data table. This is where you're going to record your data. Now, when you look at the data table, you see all those X's? The X's means you don't put any data in those boxes. You're only writing numbers down in the boxes. So in step A, when it says record the mass of the beaker, you're going to write the mass of the beaker here. And I'm just going to make up some numbers. Don't write this. All right, let's say your beaker weighs 120.1 grams. You're going to write it down. Okay? You add water. It goes up to 163.7 grams. You write it down. How are you going to find the mass of your water? You're going to subtract and write it down in your data table. Okay? Now, when you need the volume of water in step 3, what does it tell you to use? It may not even tell you, but you know you're going to use the what? Graduated cylinder. So you're going to pour your water in the graduated cylinder, and you're going to write it down here. I'm just going to say it's 40 milliliters. I have no idea. Okay? Now, you've got to calculate density. You have to show work. Let me say this clearly. You must show work over here. If you don't show it, you lose points. Did everybody hear me say that? Okay. So you're going to write density equals you have, I got to subtract that. Where's my calculator? Okay, like I told you, there's no shame in using a calculator. Bree's not going to subtract out to the side and take all of her lab time subtracting. She's going to cheat today and use a calculator because we got to finish all the data by the time lunch rolls around. And we get 43.6, right? So, and we're going to make sure and check behind our lab partners to make sure everybody's got units in our data tables, right? No blank spots. So 43.6 grams over 40 milliliters. Anybody divide that for me already? I guess not. So 1.09. And then you're going to fill it in for your density. All right. Do I have any blank spots in my table? When I look at your work, can I see how you filled in and got your density? Do I have any doubts how you did the work? No. Okay? I need to see that in your data table. Now, once you finished all of part A and filled it in, then you go to what? Part B. Part B is zinc. All right? I sent the zinc back here. It's metal. It's not going to hurt you. All right? So, you're going to dump some in your hand.
Oh, no.
Not going to hurt you.
It's gonna hurt. It's
not. It's like a little full.
It's like something. I heard if someone throws it.
All right. You're going to get some in your hand. All right. It's like little pieces of aluminum foil, except it's zinc metal. All right. And you're going to go back to your counter with it. You can set it on a scale and find its mass. But then this is going to be in water to find the volume. Remember how we put water in the volumetric or the graduated cylinder and read the volume? And then we put it in the water and the water went up. And we read 2 volumes and subtracted them. You're doing that in part B. This is going to be wet, okay? So when you fish it out of the water, it's going to be wet. You're going to bring it back here on the table. I'm going to get some paper towels. You're just going to put the wet metal on the paper towel to dry. Do not put wet metal back in here. You hear me? Leave it on the paper towel to dry. It'll dry, and I'll put it back in the bottle tomorrow. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Part C. Part C is the wood block. In here are wood blocks. I got long ones. I got short ones. Doesn't matter which one you pick. You choose. And then the Play-Doh. Some is in here. I got to get out some more. Pick a Play-Doh color. Now, the Play-Doh, the only thing I'll say about that is you're putting Play-Doh in water. Be very quick about reading your volumes. Okay? Because the volumes, if you're slow, what happens to Play-Doh in water? Everybody? It gets gooey. Okay? So have your volume at like 50. What's it say in the lab? Does it say 50 or 30? Look at
30.
It says 30. All right, look at part D where it says put 30. Change that to 50 milliliters in part D. Look at part D. Okay, I think it's on the back side. In part D at the top, it says use 30 milliliters in step 3. Change it to 50 milliliters. It'll work better. You might even have to roll the Play-Doh into like almost a log form so that it will go in the water in the graduated cylinder. Don't leave it there very long so that it doesn't get gooey. I'm going to email Miss Beverly and see if I can get some brown paper towels so we have some extra because I only have my little roll from Food Line and it's going to go quickly if I give y'all paper towels, which I'm not planning to do because y'all will use them quickly. All right, so change it to 50. All right, any questions? How many people do we have? You got an odd number. Allie's going to be the group of 3. Whatever group she's in is my group of 3. She knows absolutely nothing. Today is her first day. Okay? So everybody else is a group of 2, and Allie's joining the odd number group so that she can learn something about how to do this. All right? Bree's going to be ever so kind. Let me borrow your notes so I can make her a copy of notes because she has nothing. Will you do that for me? Thank you very much. All right? Everybody else get going. We need to get all of our data before 120 and get cleaned up. All right, where are your notes start? It's okay. Somebody said you had my handwriting, so we're going with yours. Right. Yeah, let me see yours. My handwriting's terrible. I don't know why they're sending me over there. Oh yeah, this is the ticket right here. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see my hand right now.
You were absent today. Otherwise, I might have come for you. You got a missing section.
What section are you?
I don't know, whatever day you're out.
Oh, well, this what we always
You want to do?
Yes, you said I missed you Tuesday. I did miss Tuesday. Y'all miss Tuesday too? Boss, thank
I'm gonna be all right, who doesn't have a group mate? Who needs help?
Yes, it is. Yes, I can work with her.
I guess I can work with her. That's a regular window. I've never heard one. Damien, who are you working with? Logan. All right, Raul, who are you working with? All right, okay. That's fine. Next week, the only day is Wednesday. Yes. Be fine. All right. Yeah. You only got one left, because didn't you go yesterday? I was 4 of them. Dang it, you wanted one day, because you're down to only one.
Oh, we got 2 back-to-back?
You got 3. For the semester, you got 1 left. And then you got lunch potential. 1 after today.
Wait, is this last for you?
Yep, you can. All 3 of you can work there. Just push that open notebook off to the side. All right. You find some paper so I can make. How many copies?
I got 100. So are you leaving